Hello and welcome to Big Dash Knows. Big Dash knows what? New York Giants football. Let's go. I'm old enough to remember this comment. Boo louder, you hot dog flipping sheep. Boo louder, you hot dog flipping sheep. You know how mad you gotta be to call somebody a hot dog flipper? Not a hamburger flipper. Not a hamburger flipper, a hot dog flipper. You gotta be pretty mad. But a hot dog flipping sheep, Giants fans really pissed you off, man. The boos really pissed you off, and I understand. Listen, I understand. At the time, as a young player, it was a lot on your shoulders. You didn't have the best success. You were getting whooped a lot, especially in that rookie season. And then right in that second season, it didn't get any better really for you. So I understand why you said what you said, Evan Neal. I'm still mad. Well, I'm not mad about it anymore, but I was fuming at the time. Fuming at the time because how dare somebody put that type of play on the field and get mad when the fans boo. Ultimately, you did go back and you apologized. I believe the apologize was forced. But it is what it is. But at the time, I can tell you really felt what you meant. Well, you know what you said. You really meant to call us hot dog flippers. And then we saw the comments from sports media outlets and stuff like that. We saw the fan react to it. That was an epic rant. But that was years ago, right? A couple seasons ago. Put that in the background. 2025 is a one more chance type of season for Evan Neal. You have him switching positions. Pause. He's going from tackle to guard finally. A lot of us, have been waiting for this move for at least a season and a half. We absolutely thought we were going to see him get some guard reps last year, but due to injuries, he had to stay on the outside. But I think it probably would have did him some justice, or at least the fan base some justice, to see what he looked like at guard in real games last year. And then now we're caught in this situation where we think he'll do good at guard, but we don't know for sure what happens if, or when he's playing guard. But I'll say this too, man. I'm an Alabama fan. I have certain takes about Alabama that other Alabama fans might not agree with. One of those takes is Alabama really doesn't have any tackles on their offensive line. It's all guards and a center. Because what happens, for the most part, a lot of these tackles in Alabama come to the NFL, don't have the same success or the success that people expect, and they move into guard. We've seen it time after time after time. And they end up being pretty decent to solid to good guards once they transition after, the tryout period. This could be the same situation for Evan Neal. It could be. And I'm hoping that we get that. So just like I said, I'm old enough to remember those comments being made. I'm old enough and mature enough to push that stuff to the side and root for Evan Neal. Some people saying, forget that. Why would you even root for Evan Neal? Because I'm looking at the bigger picture, right? When I'm looking at the Giants and the future of the New York Giants, Evan Neal being good at guard, it's good for the New York Giants. Because if he's good at guard, you could probably re-sign him for cheap because it's off for 1 year, and you can start to build this offensive line and get this offensive line to the point where when it's time to transition to that next quarterback, you have a solid group working together. No longer the musical chairs. When you look at the New York Giants right now, left to right, you got Andrew Thomas, you got John Runyon, you got John Michael Schmitz, which I'm most likely going to do a video on him as well. Same type of video. And then you have a battle at right guard between Evan Neal, Greg Van Roten, and you can even throw Jake Cubis in there. And then you have Jermaine Illuminor on the right side. Now, the rookie, Marcus Bowe, how he fits in this year, I'm not really sure. I would love to keep him on the outside as a right tackle because I believe he has the feet and the temperament and the athleticism to be a tackle outside by himself. But people talk about how short his arms are, and they want to move him in the guard. They want to put him at center. They want to throw all these positions at Marcus Bowe. And I say to those people, pump the brakes. No matter how you feel about another guy, Joshua Ezeudu, when Joshua Ezeudu was drafted, he was everywhere but where he was supposed to be, and it kind of ruined him. But back to Evan Neal. Evan Neal is making this move to guard. A lot of people have been waiting for this movement. And from what I've seen so far, we saw the leak from Abdul Carter for that practice rep that everybody went crazy for. The internet, it went viral for a moment. A lot of people commenting on it, and they talked about the spin moves from Burns, the spin move from Abdul Carter, the bull rush from Kayvon Thibodeau, and everybody getting home to the quarterback. But nobody really mentioned Evan Neal. Some people did. Justin Pugh was one that mentioned it. They talked about his feet and how on the combo block between him and JMS, it looked pretty good. It looked pretty good. So it gives a lot of hope. It gives some optimism. Maybe not a lot of hope, but it gives some hope and some optimism that maybe Evan Neal is finally going to be somewhere where he can succeed, and that's in the interior of the offensive line. And if he is successful, if he plays the guard position the way that some people expect him to play the guard position, because some people are like, I don't think he can play at all. Some people are like, he struggled on the outside. Let's move him inside. Let's see. Let's wait and see what he can do. He has all of training camp, and he has the preseason to prove that he can be a guy that can contribute to the offensive line, but at guard. And I'm old enough to forgive the comments that Evan Neal made, calling everybody hot dog flipping sheep, and that's hilarious to me. It still makes me laugh when I see it, but I'm old enough to forgive, because I know what it means if Evan Neal actually can succeed at guard. Worst case scenario, he doesn't succeed at guard and he's gone. But if he does succeed at guard, that means we're just one step closer to having a complete offensive line. And we know what the New York Giants can be with a complete offensive line. Not an elite offensive line, but a complete offensive line, because we have not been complete in a long time, and we have not been elite. I don't know if we were ever elite as an offensive line. We had some good offensive lines, but I don't know if we were ever, considered elite, even in the Super Bowl years. But I'm going to sit back and watch this training camp. I'm going to sit back and watch this preseason. And not only that, I'm going to actively root for Evan Neal. I'm going to root that Evan Neal does turn out to be a solid guard, because, again, if he is good at his job, that's one less piece that we have to worry about, moving forward. Again, it's not just about 2025. It's about 2026, 27, 28, and moving forward, because we need the New York Giants to be good for a long time, not for a short time. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day. So let me know how you guys feel about Evan Neal, man. One more chance. You see the thumbnail. Some people calling it a make it or break it year for Evan Neal. Whatever falls into those categories, it is what it is. But for me, I'm giving him every opportunity to succeed at guard. I will be actively rooting for Evan Neal, and maybe, hopefully, you guys are as well. But with that being said, I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows, Big Blue Nation. Let's go.